Okay, welcome back everybody to Coffee and Art in the Morning. I already did a part, well, I'm not calling it a part one because it's its own video. I did a video showing some art supplies that I got over the weekend, my museum visit to the High Museum in Atlanta. And yeah, so that's a separate video. So I thought let me move all my stuff out of the way. I thought we'd go ahead and work in the journal today. Let's try to get our light back. There we go. Kind of, maybe this needs to go on this side. I'm trying to keep something here with color that my camera will focus. And I'll probably zoom in one here in a minute and refocus anyway. So yeah, so we're going to go ahead and work in the Dylusion journal. This is the newer one I have of my 3. And you've seen me do a couple pages already. This page and this page. We did both of these live. And yeah, so I think I'm going to do this page today. So thanks everybody for being here. And I wanted to mention that Linda White Holloway, who is here, who is represented by the Low Tide Gallery in Canada. Well, I don't know what province, again, Linda. She already put the link in here and it rolled by. But she's on Facebook, or you can follow Low Tide Gallery on Facebook. And yeah, if you want to say, we call it, she lives in Mars. Her and Jean, they live on Mars. But I forget exactly what province in Canada and what city that she wants to say. Yeah. So, yeah, thanks for being here, Linda. I call her Art Unit. Bridgetown, Nova Scotia. Okay, Bridgetown, Nova Scotia. Yeah, she's up there somewhere close to Oak Island. So, all right, guys. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and work on this page. And let me go ahead. I got to plug my phone in over here. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. Going to zoom in one, and we'll refocus everything. I think it's not too bad. I think I'll put this back up there. That seems to pull the light in. There we go. That looks pretty good. It's sometimes hard to tell on camera. Come on, focus. That's pretty good, I think. All right, so we're going to work on this today. You can use some inspiration. Didn't you just say you just did some, Mel? Mel. Yeah, and Sherry Pink is doing another Secret Sister swap. So if y'all know Sherry Pink or any of the group, and know Sherry, she's doing another Secret Sister swap. Yeah. I've been in some of the Secret Sister swaps before. I had Bryn, Fluffy Bryn, we call her. Fluffy. And I don't see her around that much anymore. I guess she's just busy. But I made her a little box, like a little, it's supposed to look like a little shop, a bead shop. It was all black. And then you opened it up and it had all these little compartments and the little beads and everything. It was fun. It's fun to do those Secret Sister swaps. But you got to commit to it. You got to commit to it, you know. So, yeah, I don't have the links or information right here. So I don't see any links popping in. All right, so what we're going to do now is pull out some paint. I'll even start with a fresh palette. How about that? Pull my paint a little closer to me. I mean, my water a little closer to me. Get some brushes. I have no plan other than just some collage. Again, it's just my Dylusions journal that we did a faux leather technique on. And I have a video on that. And then we've done this one. And we've done the praying Native American lady with her feather. And this one's not been varnished. If I do varnish this, as I said earlier, if I do varnish this one, I won't varnish over the glitter because it'll still be glossy, but it won't be that shiny like that with that glitter, and I don't want to lose that, so I may not even varnish this one at all. And again, I started doing some collaging on some various pages to have that already started so that we can have time to work more of the details, because this part right here can take up to an hour. Picking collage elements, gluing them all down, that can take like up to an hour, and that cuts into time of the painting and the details. So I went ahead and did a few pages ahead of time just to have them ready when we want to do some transforming. So yeah, so this is what I got. I have no idea what we'll do, or even if it'll turn out. We try to make it all work, but sometimes some turn out better than others, and that's just, that's okay. So we'll see how it goes. So if y'all have any questions, put them in caps so I know you're asking me questions. And yeah, did Sherry pop in? Let me see. Yeah, Sherry, put your link in there if she's here. I'm scrolling down. I don't see her, but maybe they're just talking about her. Okay. All right, so let's see what colors I'm going to need. I'm going to need black. And this black, I'm going to have to get a new one. I'm getting low on that one. And I use Americana craft paint. I mean, I have a couple other random brands, but 99.9% of the paints I use for my collage, journal collaging, or my art cards is Americana paint. I love the colors. I love the quality. I just like Americana paint. So in black and white, I get the larger jars of it. Otherwise, I just get the these small ones here. I'm almost out of this russet. I can't believe I'm almost out of russet. Do I have another russet up here on the wall? Black plum. It's not quite what I want. I really want russet, but I might need another russet. I have to write that down. Let me look over here on my paint cart. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Let me write that color down. When I know that it's like, I'm almost like literally down to nothing, I'll just, put it on my Post-it note. Okay, so I need russet. Yeah, this one's just pretty much, let me try to shake it all down to the end. But I really like this color of brown. Uh-oh. Not on there yet. Not that we can't use other colors, but, let's just take the lid off. There we go. I like that kind of earthy red-brown. It's not quite sienna. It's a little bit, browner. But let me put that out so I don't forget to get that. All right. Then, of course, I'm going to love me some yellow ochre and some raw sienna. So this is raw sienna. And again, the colors are a little bit flashed out under the camera. I can turn the light down just a tad. Let's just turn the light down just a bit. Take maybe the glare off. You used it all up on the cover, yeah. Oh, I used it, yeah, probably when I did, because I did 2 journal covers, yeah. Raw sienna. Then let's see, I think I'll go with just a little bit of bittersweet chocolate, dark brown, whatever, chocolate brown, dark brown. I'm just going to get some browns out here. And I'm probably putting out more than I need, and that usually happens. Oh yeah, my yellow ochre. Oh, what other color do I want? Don't want gold. All right. So antique gold and yellow ochre are almost the same. Antique gold is like gold without the shine, without the glitter bits. And I got something. I think I got a paint booger. And see how if you don't close them completely, they'll get a little bit of dried bit inside. You want to make sure you close your paints. That's why I always have a pokey tool handy. Okay, what other color do I want? I need something to pop. Do I want a red? Yeah, I think I'm going to want a nice red. Do I want Napa red? That's almost too purple. Let's go with alizarin crimson. Yeah. So we're going to start with these colors. Not that we can't add more or whatever, but I think that's a good start. And of course we need baby wipes. Always have a tub of baby wipes handy. I go through those. You'll go through a lot of baby wipes if you do this. And then I got a few different brushes that I've been using the most of, just handy in a jar. I mean, I got jars and jars of brushes, but these are the ones I seem to be using lately the most. And my favorite brushes are angle brushes because they're so versatile. They're versatile. But I start with my fingers. Oh, let me go ahead and put some wax paper. And I do have some just sitting over here. And I don't care if paint gets on the edges and stuff. I just don't want to glue the pages together. So it's best if you put something behind your pages when you work right up to the edge so you don't stick the pages together. Another bigger sheet here. Another bigger sheet. Well, I'll use two smaller ones then. Okay. I will have to watch. Okay, Tassie, I know it's like, yeah, if you're in Oz, it's going to be late. 10, 11, 12, yeah, midnight there. So thanks for stopping in, though. Thanks for stopping in to watch a bit. I'm recording, so I'll upload to YouTube later. So sleep well. All right, let's see. I think I need to tilt the camera. It's just a little bit not quite flat. There we go. Okay. All right, so I really, when I kind of just want a kind of a landscape. I put people in it lately because people have been asking me to put people in it. So, but I really don't have anything planned out. I like stars, water, clouds, mist. You know, I like certain things in my landscape, watches, you know, and the hands of time stretching across the pages, things like that. But other than that, every collage is different. I mean, as far as the actual outcome of them. So I just kind of look at it and see where I want to start and see what we want to do. So let me have my paints right. I mean, kind of want it handy so you can see. I don't know if I can hold it in one hand, but I don't want to cover up what I'm doing. So I think I do want her to extend out. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up some of the brown and the red. And I think I'm going to try to at least get her to extend across the page. When you do a double page spread, it is a little tricky to, you know, make them kind of cohesive with the crack in the center, right? There's a, you know, there's a crack right down the middle. So sometimes you do have to take a brush. And always wet your brushes, at least get them damp. And then if you squeeze, you know, dampen out, I have a paper towel under my water bucket and damp off the excess. But you want to start with a damp brush. It's just better for your brushes. They don't get so crusty. But to get in the little crack of the spine, you know, my finger won't get in there. So I do kind of paint in there. But I try to at least, the first thing I like to do is get rid of all the white. All the white. Do y'all know? I don't know. I've never heard of those kind of color pencils. No. Somebody else mentioned a different kind the other day too that I'd never heard of. But you know, unless I just had a place to test a lot of different pencils, I pretty much sticking with Prismacolor. I know the colors, I like the colors, I know the color numbers, and I just know my colors there. All right, so let's see. But I mean, yeah, I'm not going to diss on any other kind of color pencils. The Pablos from what do you call it? Caran d'Ache. I'd love to test those out more in depth, but they're expensive, right? So I'm just going to kind of blend that out. So I hope y'all can see. Are we zoomed in good enough? At least for the overall picture. I want to be zoomed in for the overall picture. And I'm constantly either wiping on the baby wipe, and I'll use it to blend. So, and it's the same process I always use, guys. I think I am going to have an arch right here and an arch up here. So let me just kind of block that in. My finger here. And don't be afraid to cover anything up. Don't be afraid to cover anything up. Why did my camera suddenly get cockeyed? Hang on, guys. It looks a little crooked for some reason all of a sudden. Did it shift? Okay. All right. So I'm going to take some of the brown down here because I want this to, I think, come right off the page. This will get covered up over there. Now I'm just kind of, I don't like to hurry this process. Again, it seems like we do kind of rush a little bit when we're on camera, but I try not to do it too much because I want to enjoy the process too, right? So if y'all have any questions, just put them in caps. Again, I'm going to get the brush for in the little crevice here. I'll just go ahead and get that filled in all the way up the top too, because it is, you know, going across a double page spread. I think I'm going to need a gray too. Let's see. Let's go with the graphite gray. Zinc gray. And I can put it next to the white so I can make it a couple different shades. The good part, the painting part. I could almost use a tan color too if I want to extend some tan. Let's see if I can just make my own little tan color here with a few shades. Americana has tons of colors, so you don't have to blend and make your own colors as much, but it's a good practice to make your own colors. See, I'm not sure what I'm going to want going on here right now. Again, I'm just trying to cover up all the white areas, and then we'll see where it goes from there. I think I'll put a little bit of color in the arch here. Blend that in a little. And because it's all covered with the golden matte medium, which is the part you're not seeing me do today, is the gluing. But because it's completely coated with golden matte medium is how I'm able to blend and pull back paint, right? It's because that it's coated with matte medium that I'm able to do that. And I'm not sure if I'm going to want that to blend together or keep it separate, but for right now I'm just kind of playing around and getting rid of the white areas. I think I might carry this down too. Don't know if I want another little arch here or not. It's looking like one's kind of forming, but maybe I'll keep it more subtle. Not sure if I want it to blend into her. Although it's kind of looking like that. It's the what direction it's going. Almost like that's under her robe. Get in there with the paintbrush again. Any questions? Good to see you. Anybody that's coming in after not being able to be here for a while, thanks. Yeah, I saw somebody mention Miss Vicky B. She just did she just got some new color books. And if y'all haven't heard, it's not a secret because she announced on our show, Miss Vicky B is with child. So we'll be watching her progress with that. So, and I already commented and said congratulations to her on her channel. But if y'all want to make sure and say something to her over on her YouTube. Okay, I don't want to fussy too much right here. I'm going to kind of make this, but I do think I don't want it to cut right there. I think I almost want it to come across. But I almost want this to be kind of wing-like. I'm thinking this might work as a wing. But I don't want to, if I incorporate those, it's going to look like a bat wing. I don't want this to look like a bat wing. I mean, although I guess that would be okay. But I'm really not, you know, wanting it to be a bat wing. So again, I'm going to go all the way off the edge. But it's starting to look like bat wings. Interesting. Is she here? Does Miss Vicky be here? I might have missed her coming in. Yes. Okay, so I got to decide what I want this to do. But for now, I'm not quite sure, so I'm just going to go ahead and just put some paint on it. I'm not sure if I'm going to turn this into another, like a wing or not. But for now, I'm just going to put a couple colors of yellow ochre and just to get rid of the white, right? Just to get rid of the white for now. That's how I do it when you're not here, is I just start by covering up all the white, and then it, you know, transforms as we go. So I don't know what I'm going to do right there, but I think I do want that a little bit less. I'm going to pick up a couple. I'm going to kind of blend that in so it's not like it's kind of faded into the background there. That little bit of gold showing through. But I'm thinking I want this to almost be black. Okay, I think that's all going to be painted black, but I'm not sure yet. So let me just keep moving for now, okay? I'm going to keep moving for now. Okay, so this is like behind her there a little bit. I want her to stand away from that background right there a little. But I do like this sharp kind of edge right there for now. Let's come down here. I'm just picking up a couple of colors here just to kind of blend that in, the rocks and stuff, see? And you can do that with picking up lots of colors at once. Because I want it to go off the edge. Hey, Suzanne. Anybody else popping in? Thanks for being here. I think I want that to look like more like another separate brick. There's something else going on there. Okay, let's just do that for now. So we keep moving up the side here. that kind of sharp, almost like some more bricks. Some more different layers there. I think I need a little bit of orange. I think I'll get some orange out. Let's see. Let's go with orange twist. And maybe a little persimmon. Just so I have a little bit more variety of color on this side than the other side. Gives a little bit more of a glow on this edge, which I like. There we go, down there. And again, this is just to cover up the white for now. Sip of coffee. Okay. I think I do want this distinguished though from the background. So a little black and a little bit more red in there. Yep, she's starting to I just keep wiping my hands off when I get excess paint or I want to change colors. All right, let's go up here. And again, where I've torn the edges, I can take some paint, just get a little bit on there and just kind of get rid of some of the white edges. But because it's all got matte medium on it, I can wipe back wherever to the edge. And this is just how I like to do. I mean, you can combine this with other processes. It's just the way I like to do my collaging. Again, I think I'm going to cover most of this up with black, but we'll see. I do like the swirls in there, so I'm thinking I might just keep the swirls. Let's just see what this, I'm just going to let this sit for a minute, but I'm going to do some swirly stuff going on in here. I'll just let that sit for a minute, but I think I'm going to swirl this out. All right, we'll leave it for now. I'm just going to leave that for now and keep moving up. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead, and I do want a lot of black up here because this is going to have, it is going to have stars and stuff going on, some planets. But I don't want to lose her hair, so I think I'll put a little bit of, let's put a little bit of gray halo thing going on there just to separate it. We'll define it better with the brush after a while. I just don't want to lose her hair because her hair is black. I'm just going to, I'm picking up all different kind of colors here just to blend them. Maybe a little gray over on this side too would be good. And then just take and again, you don't have to use your fingers for this. I just like it because I can feel it blending in on top of the collage stuff, you know. Links are open. Linda, put your link back in if somebody missed it. Low Tide Gallery in Nova Scotia. Okay, I like that. I want to keep a little bit of blue, so I think I'm going to pick out just a little bit of my Blue Harbor to go with the gray in here, because I want to keep some of this blue sky on this edge. So I'm going to pick up some of that to kind of blend into the, and again, because it's got matte medium over it, if I get it somewhere I don't want it, I can go in here and wipe it back. I'm going to pick up some on the baby wipe here to blend up here. And I'm liking how, well, let me see. Let me put this in here. Let me get all the white covered up here. Get my little tower popped back up there. I'm going to put some clouds and mist and things here too. But for now, just want to get it painted in. Once I get all the edges done, I can move the wax paper out of my way. I'm being quiet. Oh, okay. These are going to be real little clouds way back there. But you do have to kind of watch the crevice there. It's a little tricky going across the spine. But that's what will blend, that's what will incorporate things together, is when you have it coming across the page like that. Don't want the blue coming over though. Let's see. Just the white. Alright, so now let's come back down in here. So you need a new baby wipe. Because if you don't get new baby wipes, you're going to be just moving the dirty paint around rather than blending. So I got it all up and down my arms. Hey, Miko. Alright, so let's see here what I want to do right in here. So I want some of the oranges. I have to decide. I think I do want this to come. I got to be careful here. I don't want a nice V right there in the crack either. But the V shapes are kind of working a little bit too. So let's just get rid of the white and see what happens. I think I might just bring this whole landscape right across over here. Now if this is still wet, I'm going to need to dry that, because otherwise I'll just be picking up the black. I think we're good. So you can see I'm just going to pull this landscape right over into here. But I will have to get the brush in there. I like how that little swirl's looking like a little road. I want a little road coming through there. It's kind of on the edge where it's kind of distracting going off the edge. I don't want something pulling your eye off. It's going to look too much like it's pulling your eye off. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll just make another little black, because there's a whole bunch of these little black shapes like tents, but you can't really tell what they are. So I think I'll just add a few more in there. Okay, now let me get the bottoms of them. Kind of far away ones, like a clump of them way back there. Something like that, maybe? There we go. Okay. Let me let it breathe a second. I think I'm going to turn these into, get my brush. I have a couple little pointier areas back here. Way back there. Shh, 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 shh. Like that. Now, I'm going to have to address this. Let me see. I think I'll paint that in, then I'll put some swirls on top of the black. So let me just get this painted in. All the way to the edge. Alright, now let's see here. How do I want to tackle this? Which way do I want to go? Alright. I want to do that with my finger. I think I can almost make this like some kind of mist and smoke coming out that way. I got to kind of get the swirls going though first before I do too much anything else. I'm gonna have to dry that because I'm just I don't want to layer. I mean, I don't want to blend. I want to layer, but I want to get a little bit more of this color in there, just a little. Let's see. I'll put some gray in there too to blend that, because the gray needs to pull in there too, I think. Maybe a little. What do I want in there? leave it for a second. Let it set, kind of sit. I think I want to keep that more on the red than the gray, though. Just want a little bit of definition, but don't want it too much gray there. Almost going to be a step right there. A little step thing coming across there. That might make too much of a. We'll make it too. I gotta think of the composition too. But just trying to carry this over a little bit further. Like that's all under that. If you have any questions, just ask or whatever. I'll check chat here in a second. Need some little people down in here. Little essence of people. You can do that. I'll just do it with a little Sharpie. Let me see. But remember, if you use Sharpie on acrylic paint, you know, don't like be scrubbing into it. You can do just a little touches of something, but if it's going to ruin your Sharpies on top of acrylic paint. But I just want to try to get some little, and you could do this with a brush. You don't have to do it with, you wouldn't have to do this with a Sharpie either. I'll hold this up because I can't get it, like, show you that close. I want a tiny, just a tiny little yellow and beige little opening right down there. No, I don't want that color. I think I want blue. Oops. Essence of people there again. We got a little thing going on down here. And then I think I need a little bit more blue in here, a little less gray. Just a little bit of blue tint. So this kind of looks rocky, like a little bit of like stony, rocky, like a cave more than a door down in here. Now let me add just a little bit of where's that other brush? What did I just do with that brush? I think I can take all the wax paper out now. Oh, there it is. All right, let me move the wax paper out of the way. Need more baby wipes. Go through the baby wipes. I mean, I can go through 10 or 20 baby wipes in a one collage. All right. Just with the tiniest little bit of yellow and gold. Just a touch. A little, just so they're not like a black blob. They got a little bit of something else going on down there. Okay. There we go. All right. Sip of coffee. Check the chat. Thanks everybody for being here. If I miss saying hi to you. So you can see the edges now. I mean, they're all the way to the edge. You can see the paper behind it, but that's the page behind it. Okay, it looks like it's a little flashed out. Let me get rid of some of the flashed out. There we go. That's a little better. There we go. So I want this to look misty, like coming out of here, but I haven't finished these swirls yet, but I'll just kind of do that because I want to remember to kind of do some misty bits coming out from inside there, from underneath there. That's a little dark. I mean, too bright, but I want it to tone it down just a little. So what I'm going to do is I want swirls. See, this is the kind of thing you can do so easily digitally. Right, Eileen? Oh, I don't even know if Eileen's here. But yeah, this is the kind of stuff you could do really quick and more realistic digitally. You know, you got to kind of fussy with it, not when it's paint. Got to really play with it a little bit more. Okay, because I want to get in there in each one of those little swirls. Just kind of trying to define where the swirls are going to go. Oh, I saw somebody said they're late, but it scrolled off. Sorry, I missed it. I'll get in here with the brush in a minute, but I just want to kind of indicate where this kind of foggy stuff's coming out of here and going out here. I don't know if it's coming out this way. We'll see. Gotta play with this some more. But let's finish up here. Got some collage bits hanging out. Let me stick those back in so it's not distracting me. All right, let's see what else. Gotta fix in here a little bit. Y'all doing okay in chat? See, and you really can't completely get rid of the crack right there. You know, it's there on a double page spread. Thanks, Terry. A little bit less brightness there, like maybe just along the edge, that orange. Kind of carry that over. And just fussy play here. Put some more clouds. Let me take a little cloud break. I think I want the clouds to almost look like they're like misting over the top. Something like that. They're coming in from the side there. I don't know if y'all can see. I'm trying to kind of hold it up for a little bit. But a little less defined there, just a little. It's too high there. I don't want it that high. Just wanted a little indication of a swirl, but not too defined, just a little like that. Okay, I'm gonna go and put some stars up here real quick. Let me get another, I don't want to get a big pile of water on that palette that I'm working on, so I'm just going to put a little bit white on this one. Reach over here, just add some, water it down. I just don't want all this water on my palette I'm using, so I'm going to kind of do that. Get a little less. All right, let me take a quick break a second to stare at it for a minute. I'm going to want an orange. I do know I'm going to want, let me get a nice little bit of orange and a couple of colors orange up here. I'm going to want a nice little orangey planet thing going on up here. And then I'm going to want my swirls to be starting to be defined down here. Just put a little blob of paint on each one, kind of smear it in. Fussy paint in here a little bit. I want to walk through the mysterious doorway. Are you sure? Are you sure you do? Okay, so here we go so far. I'm going to fix behind her head there a little better. I need some more definition over here, I think. It's I got a little too much white. So let me just put a little bit more blue so that the clouds really pop. I don't want any blue on the castle there, but I do need a little bit of the blue back. I got too much cloud edge over there that I lost some of the blueness of the sky. There, that's better. See the little people? Okay, I can tell I need a little bit more blue to make it look a little bit more area there. Like that. It's a little tough in the crack again. Get back in there with the brown. I think I'll put a little bit of water right there. That'd be good. A little waterfall, a little hidden waterfall. Okay. And I need a little bit of brighter orange. And I think those little things could almost be people too. And a little bit more orange here. And I think Hi, Miko. Thanks for stopping in. All right, I need a little bit more definition there. Like there might be something back in there under this little area too. Oops. Let me get a better brush. That one's a little flared. Okay, so what I'm wanting is another little something might be going on in here. I'm going to highlight, get some white and orange coming right along this edge. Too much. Gotta tone that down a little. Do a lot with the baby white. You can do a lot with the baby white. Don't want to lose that red line either, though. So I think I'll go back over that a little bit. Oh, I missed something on Lindsay. Oh, you like coming here on Mondays? Oh, well, good. I hope you do. I hope you like coming here on Mondays. Thanks, guys, for being here. Just hanging out and painting, or whatever we do. You like this one, Queenie? Oh, thanks. All right, so now I want to kind of I just want to kind of indicate that the person is part of the scene here, part of the landscape, rather. So I'm just going to kind of tie a little bit of the red in here, just a touch. Maybe a little of the brown. Let's go this way a bit. That's better. But I want these kind of angles over on this side. And something else over here, another color over here. Maybe a little, just a little touch of a little scrape of a little black might be enough. Just to kind of stop your eye with that black right there, just a tiny bit in the corner there. Almost like some crevices or some cracks. Let's go with a little more brown. Maybe just a little bit of something else, just some kind of texture. I kind of want this to look kind of, not like a brick so much, but kind of something, some kind of building part, something that's not, you know, something a little bit more man-made, but might just be that for now. I'll just go with that for now. All right, so let's see what else I want to do. All right, so around the head, I do want to glow, but it has to be a little bit better than that. So let me get a little bit of gray, white. Let's just see. I don't want it too dark. I want it more, I want it toned down. I don't want it very, let's just see where I want it to start and go. Because these watch hands are going to come out across the page too. It almost has a little bit of buildings back here. I might just roll with that. Let's just maybe go with some other buildings back in here. But not, I just want it subtle. I just want something going on back here, but I don't want it to be too distracting. Just like there's something on back there. And again, having to cross over the spine is a little tricky. That's even too more distracting. I don't think I like that. I don't want it too distracting back there. I guess I'll just keep the little glow instead. I want to visit the world. Are you coming? All right, let's just put a couple little hairs kind of highlighted here. Because her hair is flat black there, and I want to give it a little bit more, just something in there so you can see that there's some hair in there. Just a couple like that maybe. All right, let me work on this back here a little bit. Again, I want this to have a little bit more, not an exact perfect arch, but I want you to be able to kind of indicate that there's something going on back there. I'm going to fix need a little tiny bit of black. Gonna still work on this, but I think I'm gonna put some water. I want a couple more planets and a couple more orange, something going on. Just a couple of orange ones here, very faintly. So a couple orange planets showing. All right. Needs a little bit more, a little bit of orange. It needs a little something over here. Let's just carry this off a little. Just needs a little bit more something going on over here. Just carry that over a little. Okay. Let me put some water. Because I'm going to want some water in here. And maybe it's coming down out of here, like the mist is coming down into the water. Don't know if I want it coming off of here. Maybe a little bit splashing down here. Okay, let me get another brush. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right, so let me just kind of, got a pretty dry brush, a little angle brush. And we'll see what we want to do. Hey, Colleen. All right, so I know that it's going to come down around this way. I got to be careful. I don't want to go too cray with this. I want it to be kind of subtle, right? So I just want to take my time and enjoy the process. Work on our swirls. Maybe we'll make them swirls of water. I don't know. We'll see how this looks. Y'all still with me? almost want this to kind of come down. I like the swirls, but I also want it to look almost like the water's kind of flashing down. Let me take some of that off a little bit. I want to make it come down rather than all up. Let's see. In other words, I want some of this to kind of swirl down like that. Almost like there are water wheels in there. I feel like water wheels in there. To get back in there with some darks too. I think I want another little black. I want another little plane back here. And a shooting star right there. D. Okay, bye Marie, good to see you. You want her eyes blue? I don't know. She kind of looks good with dark eyes. I mean, I'll put a highlight in there. I haven't got to her face or anything yet. Just kind of working on, you know, all this. All right, so now I think, let me dry this. I think I'll go in there with some color pencil maybe. Just to get a couple of darker areas in there. I'll let it sit for a second, come back over on this side. Because I almost want something coming. I'm thinking I might. Let's see. I'm thinking I might want some little bit something coming here, but I want it to come down like in here, like kind of coming down. And I might change my mind. Gotta blend it in, but I'm thinking I want something like not so much. I want it very subtle back in here, just a little touch where you can kind of just see a little bit. Reminds me of some of the movie where the whites of the eyes were blue. We're talking about how this reminds us of Dune. Oh, okay. I haven't read Dune. And I never saw the movie, but I read it back in like 1970, whenever it came out. Yeah, I read it back when it came out. But I don't remember it enough to comment whether it reminds me of Dune or not. No. You know what I mean? Too symmetrical, too much there. Maybe a little pool right in there. A little pool of water right in that, like right in that rock right there. Like a little basin, maybe? That'd be nice. Let's turn that into a little basin right in there. Just a little basin of water right in there. Something like that. A little less. Just gonna tone that one down a little. It's kind of splashing out a little. Need a little bit more dark there before I put the light on it. Oh, my thing unlocked here. Hang on. The room below her is a water. Maybe. See, that's part of the imagination. I'm just kind of fussing and playing because see, this is the kind of stuff I usually have to rush through when we stream. Because, you know, I'm usually run out of time by right about now. And it's like, okay, I gotta hurry up and get these little details in. Now I can just do a little bit more time, you know, a little bit more. I think Sarah wanted some water down here. Let's put a little bit of blue in there too. Okay, I get some more darks in here. Let's see. There needs to be some highlights right there. It's going to cross over into that. Okay, take a sip of coffee for a minute. I got to get some definition around those swirls. Could almost stand to have a little bit more of the castle top showing. Just a touch. Just a little bit more highlight on the side here. A little glowier. Just a little bit showing at the top. To know from beginning, I didn't know. You like this is your favorite one so far, Sarah? All right, let me get a Posca pen. Let's see, I just want a tiny little bit more highlight in her eye. And I'm gonna want some like the watch hands coming from behind her head. Let me get something straight edge, just something. I don't really want a ruler to follow, but I want this to come straight across from behind her head. So I don't want to touch the ruler. I just want to have a kind of an idea of where we're going here. All right, now I can thicken it up and do it how I want here. And then I think I want this one to kind of come on this way. I'm gonna turn it sideways for a second, guys. I gotta get this straight. Then I can block in the darks. Let's put a little bit of glow around that planet over there. Okay, now let's go back with the black and the blue. And I'll throw in a few more stars and things. I want to get this watch hand. I'll have to go back over that with the white. So I just want to kind of turn that more into, I think I'll put a little blue edge on it too. I gotta turn it, guys, because I can't do a straight brush line with, I want to fade in some gray on that, and then I'll go back over it again with white, because I want this to have like a definitive shape to it. And then I'll sharpen it up. Hi, Marita. Okay, I think I want to get rid of some of this. Just get rid of some of that. Kind of just make it look more faded in. Again, on this side, I've got to get rid of some of this. Oops. Just a little less shadow there. Don't want anything distracting from her head. Some blue. Thanks, guys. A little bit more blue in there. Just not liking that bit there. I got to get rid of that. It's too much distracting to me. Decorations. And I'll put some of the little dots back. And go back in with the Posca pen. And keep all those little nails, little screws rather. Just kind of fussy playing in there now. Now let me hit it with the heat gun because I can't get in there with the Posca pen with the wet paint. Turn it upside down a minute so I can do a straight line right here, guys. My head's sticking in there, I don't know. It needs more black. I'm going there with a Sharpie right along that edge. Let's get a little dark on this side of the planet. Make it a little bit more defined right there. Still with me, guys? Oh, the Posca pen is... what is it? Up 0.7 millimeter. It's a little worn down a little bit because I use it a lot. But. All right, so now let me get in here. A couple little areas. Just kind of blend that out a little, and then I'll have a few extra little rods or rods, not cones. Some of the extra rods coming out of there. All right, let me go in here and define a few little brighter stars here and there. Because I did this paint splatter, right? But I want to few extra bright ones. I got some orange ones in there. Let's brighten up a few of those. Those are kind of foggy because of the clouds. All right, I got to come back down here. Here's my little shooting star down here. All right, need a black pencil. Thin it out a little. The white thing close to the ruler reminds me. Well, it's like it's the watch hands. It's hard to get right in that little crevice. Alright, let me get back in here and kind of touch up some of the things I painted out. Just kind of smear it out a little. Maybe just a couple little extra waterfall things. This needs to come off the edge. No, I don't want to. Same for in here. It's a little too. It's a little bit more. Thanks, Lindsay Whimsy. Thanks, guys. You know, they all turn out different. I gotta work over here a minute. It only took us an hour and 30 minutes, but that's because the collage part, we'd already glued the collage down, right? And you don't have to have a Posca pen to do this. It's just making it quicker for me. Add a few little extra waves and whatnot in there. But you can do the same thing with the dry brush. So you can see there's the edge right there. Talking about the white mark on the table cover. This. Oh, you see, like, oh, this right here looks like the space. I'll turn it into the Space Needle. Oh my gosh. There you go. Do you glue your collage pieces down with matte? Yes. Well, the whole page ends up getting covered with matte medium because, you know, I'm gluing everything down. So it's pretty much is completely covered with the golden matte medium. Alright, so now let me come back over here, and I need to get in here with some dark. Let me get a dark brown. This may or may not be dark enough. No. Let me see that display, Denise. Okay. 1 second, guys. Denise is just messaging me. She's finally home from the airport. They flew in from Orlando, the summit, this morning. About, well, they left at 7, I think. Let me black too. They left at 7. So I'm just going to play a little bit in here with some pencils. I can't go to links while I'm streaming. I'll have to look at it later, Suzanne. Or somebody will have to link, or you can link it to me later. I can't go to links while I'm streaming because I sometimes can, but I don't want to take a chance of getting disconnected when I leave Ustream, you know. So I can't really go look at it right now. But I'm sure somebody will tell me about it later, Carrie or somebody. 2 days. Thanks for being here. I want to get a little dark in here so I can add some water in here, some more individual little water swirls, but I got to have some dark in here for the swirls to go over. I mean, for the water to splash over it. I have to have the dark for the light to show up. And then we got our little mountain back in here. Hey, Trina. And I can varnish this page with the, this is not water soluble. Now, I think it was, I forgot who it was now. Who was it? Elizabeth, I think, was saying that she had her Posca pen moved when she varnished it, but she used a brush. She said she used a brush, not a foam brush. And a brush might dig in too much and move the Posca paint pen with the varnish. So you do kind of have to be careful. You know, when you put the varnish on, you can't scrub it in. You know, I'll on my art cards, I put it on with my finger. But on a big area like this, I'll put it on with the foamy sponge brush because it's gentle. Know what I mean, Vern? So I just want to add a little bit of dark here to, because I want to go back with some more foamy, like misty waves, like, but they're not going to show up on this gold if I don't have some definition in there. So that's what I'm putting in to go on top of. So what time is it? It's only 11:18. We're going to have to do another project. We're going to have to do something else. We're crack-a-lacking today, people. We're crack-a-lacking. I'm going to take a sip. I am going to have to get some hot coffee, though. All right. Let's see if I can just get some foam, I mean some nice, smooth, little misty stuff going on here. All right, let me get a fresh baby white. But I'll stop this recording. Yeah, we'll do another project. It's still early. All right, so now let me try to, I'm going to try to be very, I'm going to have to probably turn it because I want I want it to be misty, but it's going to have to be gentle. I have to keep wiping back. You know, I want it misty like. But I'm trying not to lose the swirls. I'm trying not to lose the little swirls that are on the collage bit. But I'm not sure I'm going to like this. But we're going to go for it. We're going for it. See right there, there's where a collage piece is cut, not torn. So I got to kind of, although it's not bad because it does look like it's part of the architecture underneath. But I don't want it too bright. I want this to be more subtle. It's already getting too much. It's already getting too much. There we go, that's better. I have to go in there with a few little wavy things so you can see it's, you know, foaming over each other. But I don't want to lose everything either, so I got to be careful. This one's tricky. This bit right here is a little tricky because now it's going to start looking like eggs or something. I don't want that. You know, maybe I should have not put so much. Let's take some back. See, it's got the matte medium on, so I can rub it back. I think less might be more in this case. Right in this corner. I am going to need to get this corner a little darker, though. Let's get this back dark. My paint's starting to skin over. I think I'll get rid of that one right there. I'd have to do just some individual painty swirls. Be careful. Be careful. And you'll be careful. You know, hey, it is, we try different things. Everyone's a little different, you know, each painting's a little different. So we just, I think what might make it, well, no, because if I put some splatters on, it's going to look too much like water, not fog. But if I put too much fog, then you don't see the little swirls. See what I'm talking about? But it's kind of lost its flavor. I might just have to put some like individual. Let me dry it here real quick. You know what would be really pretty is some gold stickles. What do y'all think? Gold stickles. To make it glittery like. But the problem with that is that I can't really varnish that like this one here. Remember? Because this is, I don't want to varnish this one because I got the glitter. Okay, we kind of got a little flashed out here. I should have been checking a little more. There we go. Because I'm not loving this. If it was glitter swirls coming out, I might like it a little better. Gold cinnamon roll. Derry, you're such trouble. I could add a little, I don't know. Because that's kind of what I'm wanting. A shiny, and again, Eileen could probably do this digitally like that. To have it look like, you know, like it's actually moving, right? Like, do you like those sound effects? Okay, yeah, I think we're going to go with some stickles. All right, I'm really liking her like she is. I just need a little bit of white edge along her face. Let's make sure my pencil tip is clean here. I just want a little bit more of a, I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Let me kind of hold it up. I just want a little bit more light on the side of her face. Can y'all see that? Just want to pick up a little bit more of those highlights in her face. Maybe just to like the round cut on her nose there, the edge of her lip. I'm just going to kind of brighten up her face a little bit. I've got a piece of paint on her lip. Let me get in there and get that. Make sure her pupils are nice and black. All right. So what do y'all think? Like the white highlight on her face? Yeah, it just makes it a little bit more defined. Let's get around her chin just a little, maybe just a little along the edge of her neck. Just a little, you know, just makes her face pop just a little, metaphorically speaking. Something like that. What do y'all think? All right, let's go ahead and do a little bit of stickles in the gold, because this is the only thing I'm not happy with, is this right here. I think I will put a little bit of stars right here. No, because that'll detract from the gold. Because I do have my one shooting star. Maybe I'll just put a couple up here. And then now we'll go for the, let me get some gold stickles out. It's a gold in here. Here we go. This one might be almost empty. This one looks shinier anyways. No, I think they're both almost empty. Oh my gosh. Almost out of gold stickles. Let's see if I can get anything out of that one. Ooh, it plopped up. That's okay. It's giving me a nice... I'll hold it up so you can see the twinkle. Now, it was probably not going to photograph, you know, the stickles. The glitter usually doesn't photograph very well. But I am liking the little bit of twinkle. I'll hold it up so you can see it in a second, guys, because I don't think you can see it with the camera angle as it is. So that'll be a nice little touch. And I want to go a little bit on the black. You know, like around the edge. And twirl it around like this. That might be just what it needed. Careful of the icing on those cinnamon rolls. Oh, Terry. There we go. Oh, I need just a little bit more right here. That's what it needed, right? Maybe just a little bit more on this. Be careful with the icing, Terry. Just a little bit there. There we go. I like it now. Although now I feel like I should have something up here. Maybe I'll just go ahead and glitter up this planet. Just to have a balance. And I'll take a picture of it and post it. Very yummy and magical. There we go. I mean, they could use a little bit of work here and there. This, to me, is very bright. It almost needs a little bit less white. It could use more dark in there because it's kind of, it's like, I don't know. I'm not loving the composition of it. I like the idea of it, but this could almost be smaller. You know, these little swirls could have been like half, but what I was trying to do was use the swirls that were in the collage bit, and I should have not had to, I should have just painted over some of it because the swirls are a little big, but you know, it's all right. You can see the little people right there. Okay, I think we'll call this one done, guys. Decide where I want to sign it. Probably right down here. We'll just sign it with a Posca. Go right over the waterfall. Gonna make it fade in there. You smell what I'm cooking? Denise says, I smell what you're stepping in. Let's get down there with a little bit of, just a little bit more highlight on the people, maybe. And it could use a little bit more glow along some edges here, like maybe right along there. You know? Could put a little bit more glow right there. Could put a little bit more glow on the... I gotta be careful not to set my hand in there. And you could do this with paint. I'm just going on here with a little bit of a white pencil. Let's give it a little bit more glow around some of these. I don't want to go crazy with it. I just want a little bit, right? Just a little bit of glow. And that kind of ties it over to this side. Little people waiting in line for cinnamon rolls. Oh my gosh, girls, girl. All right, I better quit before I get too much. Oh wait, I do know one of the things. I did want to add a little bit of highlight, blue highlight to this things here, these tints. Give it a little glow here and there. A little extra glow. Thanks, Suzanne. I'm going to be careful now because I'm close to the glitter. I'm just trying to add a little bit more blue in there. Maybe a little bit more back in here. Just a little texture, not too much. Just a little bit more light hitting it. See, now I got too much going on. Let me go back with the black. Got too much, something going on, too close to the edge. If it gets too much, like all this white on the edge over here, it's drawing your eye off the page. Like, I'm just not loving that. I gotta say, my swirls got a little crazy, but that's better. Okay, I'm gonna stop on it. I might do a little touch up here or there. Alright, so I'm going to stop and I'm going to take a quick break and we'll do something else. Any questions or anything? Hi, Miss Allie. Alright, so let me Again, it got a little flashed out. I don't know how it does that by itself. I really don't know how that happens, but it does. There we go. That's better. But I'll take a picture of it after a while. So I hope y'all enjoyed watching this one. We got the little gold swirl going on. And yeah. Do you go in like this and come out like that? Not cinnamon rolls. Okay. All right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this recording, and I'll be right back. Okay. Thanks for being here, everybody.